All right, so let's start with our WordPress. Last time we talked about what is WordPress, what you can do with it, and again we are able to download the necessary stuff there, which I asked you to do too at your end there. And in order for you to have WordPress on your system, you need to come to the WordPress.org there, and we have different things that you want to do here, but the major thing here is this get WordPress, which is going to take us to a page where we're going to download. And as you can see here, we just need to download WordPress, and as you can see, the current version is this 6.8.1. And once you are done with the download, the WordPress can work on its own. So the WordPress is depending on PHP, so which is a programming language that they use to build this software that you can now use to build websites. So instead of you creating this thing from scratch yourself, you just download WordPress. It's have a lot of things. Your own is just to be working with button, but there's some time too you need to write code, which is what we've already done part of them, except the JavaScript parts. But you can still customize whatever the WordPress is going to be giving you there like that. And once you download it, you're going to have it under your download, which is something I have already under my download, which is a zip file that contains the WordPress installation there. So I have this WordPress 6.8.1, which is the same thing as what we have here. But I told you, you can't run WordPress like that. It's depending on PHP. And PHP too can't just work on your system. It needs the server that you're going to use to run PHP, because you can't just run PHP like that. There is a server that you need to call, or there is an interpreter that is going to interpret all the PHP code into what machine can understand. And you don't want to be doing all these things yourself. Again, too, another thing we need is the database. As you can see, you need database. And one of the database engine that we have here is this MySQL. This is one of the provider for database. We have a lot of them like that. You have Postgres, you have this MySQL, you have the MariaDB, you have the Oracle DB, and a lot of them like that. So we have a lot of database that you can use. But this is what they are recommending because it is free. You don't need to pay for license before you can use it like that. And there's a lot of things we need to bring together in order for this stuff to be able to work. So instead of you installing them one by one, you can actually install this XAMPP here. So this XAMPP is a tool that comes with the server that you're going to be using to run your PHP. It comes with the database there like that, and at the same time it comes with PHP. And what you just need to do is to go to their download page and you download the stuff, but make sure that you are downloading the latest version. As you can see here, this one is PHP 8.0.30, but as you can see here, you have 8.2, which is actually bigger than 8.0, which is what we downloaded. I downloaded on my system last time. And once you download the stuff, that one too, you are going to have it in your download or wherever you are saving your file. What you just need to do is to click on it, and once you click on it, it will start the installation guide there, which is going to ask you first, where do you want to save the XAMPP file, because that place is very important. Whatever the folder you are going to be choosing there, it's going to give you the default one, but sometimes maybe you have it before, it will tell you that something is already there. And as you can see, it's telling me that I have this thing running like that because I have the thing on my system already. So once you click on next, you click on next, and as you can see, it will ask you which folder do you want to save all the files. So as you can see, it's under the C, which is the same name of the application, XAMPP there, because this folder you'll be using it later on there like that. I already installed my own like that, so I'm going to cancel the process. After this step, you just wait for it to load, and once it's done loading, then you'll be able to start the server. But how do you start the server? So once you install the XAMPP, it's going to put this in on your system. So under the X, which I can quickly search for XAMPP by just typing the name, as you can see, it's going to install this control panel. But I want you to run this in as administrator because if you don't run it as administrator, sometimes it used to interfere with the other system and it doesn't have the power to run the database because most of these things they need access before they can do some extra work on your system. And when they don't have that administrator right, so there's no way they will be able to run. The next thing is to just stop. So I only advise you to run it as this administrator so that it has the full power to do all the necessary stuff it needs to do. And once it's done, it's going to bring out this interface. But the major thing we need here is this Apache and this MySQL. This FileZilla, this is like a file explorer where you can use to transfer file from your system to online like that. But we don't need that. A lot of services we want to use these days, they have the upload button instead of you using this method. In the olden days, that's why you'll be using FileZilla to transfer the file on your system to that system there. But you don't need to do this. Whatever services you want to use to deploy your application, just go there. They will present the UI for you to upload your files directly from there. Even they can help you to like upload zip file instead of you uploading them one by one. So we don't really need every other one. Again, this one is related to Java, which is something we're not doing. So this Apache is the one that is going to create the server that is going to run the PHP for us. And this is our database, because everything you're going to be doing will be saving somewhere. So where is it going to be saving all those data? It will be inside the database. And the cheap one that we have right now is this MySQL. As you can see, it's there. You don't need to pay for it. It's free. You can use it anywhere. You can even use it to make money online. Nobody will hold you for that. But if you want to use any other database, then you have to know whether to pay for it or not. But anytime you're using PHP, you always see this MySQL. That is always go along with it because it is free. You don't need to start doing any other thing. So in order for this thing to run, so we need to start our server like that. So once you click on start, it is going to start. And when you know that it start, like this thing is done successfully, is when it shows this port. So if that port is not there, or if it's not turning to green, it means that something is wrong, and you're going to see the message under here. So as you can see, it means your server is running, and is running on port 80 and this 443. These are default ports that you always see on every system. Like once you just say localhost, if you don't mention the port, this is the port is going to be looking for by default like that. So this one is HTTP, and why this 443 is for HTTPS. That one is when you're doing secure, but we don't need to do anything like that. And that's this one here now. By the time we go to this place and we type localhost, we don't need to put any port. When we're dealing with the live server, it is using 5100 because that one is not the default port. So you need to specify where to get that application. But since Apache is using the default server there like that, which is 80 like that. So if I just use localhost, as you can see, it will load the Apache instantly. But this is not what we want. This is not what we want. We don't just want to see their stuff. We want to see our own site. So that's where we need to install WordPress. And before you can install WordPress, as you can see on their side, there is a guide that you need to follow there like that. You can follow this instruction to set up your WordPress like that. And this thing already explains some of the stuff we talked about. Like you download WordPress, then you have database setup, which is something we have Sam for to do it for. So the next thing we need to do, let's go back to the control. Under that control there, you need to start your MySQL too. So that MySQL, the port too needs to show, but the port of that one has 3306, and it needs to show that green. So sometimes this MySQL used to stop if you don't start it with administrator, because it doesn't have the power to create the necessary port or to run behind the scene. Because what is happening here is that this thing is running behind the scene on your system. And so if you want to have access to this MySQL, and what you just need to do is to go to localhost, then by putting this port, this thing is living, it's still on your system, but the application is living inside this room. You can think of port as a room inside your system. So each application can, have their own room. So if you now want to go to any one of them, you just mention the room that you want to fix it there. So here now, if I want to go there, I can just say localhost here. So instead of using this one, what I just did 3306, is that not what is there? Like that. Yes, 3306, but let me use this admin to go there, which is going to go to the same report. They have a separate name for it, which is going to be this PHP my admin. And again, sometimes this thing used to, takes time to load, but you can try it from your side there. So once it's running, so you click on that admin. So admin is going to take you to the dashboard for the database, and this is where you are going to create your database like that. I don't know why this XAMPP is really slowing down like that. So it's the XAMPP that is slowing down because this thing is running locally, not online. So whether you have network or you don't have network, so it's not related to that. As you can see now, it shows like that. So and as you can see by the side, you are going to see all the database that have been created already. So from my own side, as you can see, I have dummy. From your own side, you're not going to have anything like dummy because it's something I've created before. But if you want to create any database, it's just by clicking on this new. So this PHP admin can host different database on, like, you can just have this thing on one system and it's going to host different application. But each application are going to have their own database. So to have your database is just by clicking on this, or you can even come here like that. But I'm going to click on it here because it's faster from here. As you can see, it's the same thing that it's going to do. So whether you click new here or you click from here, it will come here and you'll be able to create whatever you want. So the next thing is for you to specify the name of the database depending on your application. So you can name it anything you want like that. For example, I can just say this one is going to be Mayor First Portfolio like this. So that when I'm creating another database later on, we just point to that particular one. It's always good that you use a meaningful name so that when you are using that same database for different applications, you know which one you have to click on or which one to open, and you should always name it according to what your site is all about, or the name of that your site that you want to use. But you can call it anything you want. It's just that it's good to use a good name. So once you click on once you're done with the name, you don't need to do anything with this one. It's already in the no, this thing has changed. So it's already in the default one. Let me reload the page. I don't want to be looking for the stuff. There's a lot of them there. So let me reload the page so that it's go back to the demo. As you can see, UTF-8 general CI are like that. And that's what it's recommended from their site like that. So if you go down under the details for what we need to do, so as you can see under the database, you see that what they ask us to use, as you can see, UTF-8 MB whatever general CI, so which is the same thing as what this thing is showing us right now. So you don't need to do anything with that one. The only thing you just need to do is to provide the name, and when you are done, you click on create, and once it's successful, as you can see, it's going to add the database beside the stuff like that. So you can click on it and you are going to see the database open up. But right now, we don't have anything inside it like that. So I can click on this thing back. So please look at it. So this is where I was before. Clicking on this, as you can see, because the menu that you have here is changing based on what you click here. So the next thing we need to do is to create the user account. The user that is going to be managing your database is different from the WordPress, so the one that will be managing database. So in order for you to see the account, we just need to click on this PHP my admin so that it go back to the home page like that. And as you can see at the top, we have this user account. By default, it comes with this root user. So it comes with the root user, which is something you shouldn't use like that, because as you can see, use root user, they have a lot of all the privilege, which is what we are still going to be doing. So you can create your own user, or you can actually use this user, because when you are setting your database, it will ask for the user that will be accessing to that database. So this is your database. You can give different user access, and whatever the privilege they have, those are the only action they can carry out on database. So and that's why you see that in any application you see that we have admin and we have the normal portal. The operation you do from the normal portal is different from what you do from the admin, because there's some operation you cannot do when you are on a normal portal. You cannot delete anything. So you can create a user that the only thing they can do is to create, they cannot delete. Again, so you can create another user that the privilege they have is to delete, they cannot create. Or you create one that have everything, and that's why you see here all this one and they have all the privilege. But if you look at this PMA, you see that that one did not have all the privilege. It's just part of it that it's up there like that. And you too, you can just create your own account, because there is going to be all these routes that is there. So you can add your own if you want to create it, or if you want, you can just use the routes. And as you can see, you need this host name later on, and you need a password later on if you have it. But if you look at this one, and you don't have password. So when you are doing it later on, you just leave it empty because you don't have password. But when you're working in a real sense, or when this thing is really like security that you need to focus on, it's always good that you create password for that user. And again, to make sure that you only tick what can, like what you know that cannot destroy your database, because if somebody have access to that database through that user, they can do anything that that user can do. But since this is that we are doing, so we don't need to care about it. Right now we're going to create another user, which I'm going to be calling in the same this Mayoverse portfolio, like that. So I'm going to remove this. So Mayoverse, I think I've already copied it, so let me paste. So again, what is the host? Leave it empty like that, which is going to use whatever the host, whatever you host this your database. So it's going to use it. But when you are doing it online, they are going to give you all the host information, the port and everything. You get it online. But since we are doing it locally, we know that our host is going to be local host. Then our port is just going to be that 33 0 whatever they say. But you don't need to do all those things because we are doing local stuff. But when you're deploying online, you need to know the ports and you need to know the host there like that, which is going to be given to you. Once you buy the hosting plan, they will give everything will be there just for you to click and see the information that requires it. So as you can see down here, we don't need to do anything, but we need to change this password, which I'm going to change to this strong pass at 1 like that. So this is what I'm using like that. Again, strong pass at 1 like that. So pick it. Then if you want to generate password, you can generate the stuff. Again too, can you see all the access? So for the data, can the user select, can they insert, can they update, and all those? What are the privilege that this user can do? Since it's just our stuff, so let's just click on global privilege. That means you have access to everything like that. So what we just need to do here is to click on go, and once everything is successful, you'll see that this is what is running behind the scene. So this is a query, which is like a language that the database is using to carry out its own operation. Everything has language. You just need to, but now what we just need to do is click on button and it will carry out the action. But this is the action that is doing behind the scene. So this is the code that is going on behind the scene, and you can create PHP code for it in case you want to use it in your own application directly. Like you want to do it automatically from your code, you can just create the PHP code like that. But we don't need all those things. What we just need here is this Mailverse, which is the name of our database, and at the same time our host and other information like password and the port. But we don't need all those things for now. So what we can just do now that we are done with the database part, the next thing we need to do is to start with the installation of WordPress. And when you want to install WordPress, so you go to where you have that your WordPress file like this. So you just need to extract it out. You just need to extract the stuff out, which is something I've done for one class before. But let me just right click on this, depending on whether you have you don't have WinRAR on your system, but just right click on it. It has its own option too. Yeah, so you can just click on it, right click on that stuff. No, go back. No, go back, the arrow at the top. Yeah, so just right click on that stuff. It should bring out the option for you to extract. Right click, right. No, you are using left. No. Go back to the main. This is go back again. No, this is the option. It's even showing at the top. Or you right click on this one. Right click. You are going to see extract all. So extract all. That's it at the top. So you just wait for it to extract. So for my own, since I'm using another, huh? Yeah, just click on it. So again, it will extract the stuff. Yeah, extract, because this is different window extractor. For me, I have external application to do that. So because this one is more advanced than the normal window, this one will give you different option that you can. So you can see the win right here. I can extract here. I can extract file or even extract it to another place entirely like that. So what I will just do is extract here, so that it's going to just give me that folder. So once it's done, you can see my own is even faster than, because you are using the normal window extractor like that, which is really slow. But this one is even done, and this one is still not done. As you can see, all the code that you need to build any site, they are inside this folder, and it's just 71 MB The next thing is for us to install. But in order for you to install, you are going to be copying this folder into that your XAMPP folder. You know, that's where the server is that you're going to run. But we don't just leave it like this. Whatever the name of your site, that's what you always use as the name of that folder, like that. So which I'm going to call Mayoverse portfolio, like this. So I'm going to call it Mayoverse like this, Mayoverse portfolio, like that. So what we just need to do right now is to cut it and move it into that XAMPP folder. So where's the XAMPP folder? When you're installing the stuff, by default, XAMPP used to install it inside this local disk. So when you open it, you are going to see the XAMPP folder there from your own side. But mine, I have the new one I'm using. I actually put it inside this XAMPP too for your own site, since it's your first installation. So this is where you are going to have it. And once you open that folder, this is everything you are going to see there like this. We have Anonymous, we have this Apache, we have the CG, IBIN, but the one we actually need is this ATT doc, this HT doc. So inside this folder, that's where you are going to paste the WordPress you want to install. So whatever site, any site, even if you want to do another one, just extract it out, rename it, then you move it here. And in the browser, you just go to your localhost slash that name. That's why the name is very important. Of course. So just like the way we type localhost slash PHP my admin here. So now what you now do is it will now be localhost then slash whatever the name of that folder. Assuming I want to operate on dashboard now, it will be localhost slash dashboard. So if I want to upload or if I want to work on this portfolio, it will now be localhost slash portfolio. So it will load everything that is here for me. But since we are working with this one, so what we need to do now is to go to local, and we don't need to put the port because it's using the default port, which is 80. When you don't mention the port, it will go to 80 by default. But if the port is not 80, you have to mention it because other one, it doesn't know about them. So you have to mention those one. So here now we just need to go to slash. Then once the name of that is going to be that Mayoverse portfolio like this, the name has to match it. So once you press enter, then it will begin the WordPress installation once you see it. But don't forget your Apache server must be running and your MySQL too will be running because it's going to connect to the two of them like that. Because it's the Apache that is going to run this thing for us. I don't know why the XAMPP is not slow these days. We have other one which is known as WAMP, but that one only work on Windows. This XAMPP can work on Windows, Linux, and every other operating system. That's why the X is there. X means different operating system. But WAMP does mean Windows, which means that one only work on Windows. So that one to come with its own Apache, MySQL, and those things like that. So we can actually go for WAMP too, because I don't know why this thing is slowing down like this. So going online, as you can see, is the same thing. So WAMP server is just like that XAMPP, just that this one is just for like you can only install it on Windows. So you can't install it on any other operating system. As you can see, it's come with its own PHP my admin, the PHP and all those other whatever stuff. Where is it? So if you want to even install PHP my admin separate, you can install it. But that's not what we want to do. So XAMPP is still loading because it's on. When the stuff is done loading, that's when we can continue. So after you rename that folder, because that's the folder you need, not the one outside, this one. So you are going to rename it to whatever the name of your site that you want to use. So rename it. No, you do not right click on it. Not right click on the file. So if you right click it, you bring it out. So this thing is still loading. Let me bring out my server. What is going on? So whatever the name you want to use, they'll just cut out. Not that name is what you are going to cut this entire folder. So cut it because you don't need to do copy. Or if you want to reuse it later on, so if you want to always add a copy, so before you rename it, you can actually copy it to that place, then now rename it at that place. So if that's what you want to do. But since you've already renamed it, just cut it, then now go to your local host here. So as you can see, it's done loading. So it's going to go to your this thing, go to your the storage. No, the Explorer. So go to your Explorer, then go to local C, local the C, local the Z is there. No, that's local the yeah. So you are going to see the folder XAMPP. So open it. Then you are going to see the HT doc, H. It's going to be under the thing is in alphabetical order. So HD dot, this is where you paste the stuff. So just paste what you copy. Then once is your server running, everything. So now go to the browser and you now type localhost then slash whatever the name that you use here. So it's going to begin the installation. Since it's the first time we are doing it, so it's going to begin installation guide. But later on when you do it, since it's already installed, it will just show your dashboard automatically. So it's going to be localhost slash whatever the name of the project that you want to work with. So from my own now, it's displaying already. So I just need to select the language that I want to use for my projects, as you can see. So the next thing is for you to click on next because it's already in English. So we don't need to change it to any language. So, but there is something you did not do. Have you created your database? As you can see, that's the next step because you have to create that database stuff. So you have to have that data here, your PHP my admin, that PHP my admin, that's the one at the top. So you need to have the user created, the database created. No, you don't have the database yet. No, this one is account. Database is the one at the top. Yes. So you need to create the database because that's the next step after that place. Because you need the database name, you need the username, the password, and the host. So yeah, so you are done creating the database. So the next thing is for you to create the user. So click on the PHP my admin at the top. PHP my admin at the top. So you are going to see the menu for account, user account. That's it. There. So you can now create new add user account, add user account. So you can name it the same thing too. So username, just give it the same name, like that. So the next thing, the password, if you want to use the password, but don't forget the password. So the next thing is for no, don't click on generate because if you click on generate, it will replace your password. So scroll down because that one is to generate password. So scroll down. Once you get down, then click on that check all. So check all the privilege here. So just scroll down and create. So yeah, go. Then once it's successful, now go back to that place. Yeah, so that it can suggest it for you. Now go back to that place. So click on continue. It's going to take you to the next screen that is giving you, which is something we've done already. So the next thing is let's go. So you click on let's go. So as you can see now, the database name. So what is the database? So you fill all this information with that info, which what you use. So since I use the same name for the user and database, I will just copy and paste into the stuff. As you can see, the host 2 has been pre-filled. So this table prefix, you don't need to do anything because that's what is going to use to prefix all the data or all the table or the columns name that is going to be creating for you there. So the next thing is for us to just click on submit, or you can even preview your password to check whether it's filling the correct stuff or not. So if it is correct, then the next thing is to submit the stuff. This step is very important. If it's not done properly, you get error. So the next thing is just for you to run installation like that. So once you click on run the installation, then it will start and bring the welcome string. So what is the name? So now this is about WordPress now, not database. We are done with the database part. So this is now your WordPress. So when you want to log in into this site, what is the password and what is the username? It's not the database again. So since it's the same site, so I'm just going to use the same name and the same password so that I don't forget. But you might want to use different stuff. So if you are using different stuff, you need to have where you are saving all this information so that after 1 year, maybe you want to transfer your site to another place. You'll not be looking for what not lost. So yeah, I'm just going to change the password to what I used to use. Is this what I used to use? Is this what I use? Why don't forget. Let me go and check. So where is it? I think that's what I use now. I want to know maybe I use capital. So your email. So in case in case you want to reset, yeah, you can put. So let me just say that Mayorverse portfolio or whatever you want to. That's it. You can actually change that name later on because it's going to give us dashboard and we can update it like that. So in case you want to change your password later or anything, whatever email you put there, that's where they are going to be sending the information like that. So which I'm going to use my email for it like that. So search engine feasibility. So yes, you want this site to be feasible on search engine. Now what is that? For example, now if I just say Jumia without typing it and put it on Google or whatever stuff, as you can see that it will be part of the search engine search like that. So that's what that thing is talking about, which is something you should always do because your site you want it to be visible to the world. But if it's something that is private, you might disable this one. So the next thing to click on install WordPress, and if everything is successful, we are going to receive a congratulations. As you can see, your one is done already, which is that success. So the next thing is for you to log in into your dashboard. So click on login, and it's going to take you to the login page to log in into the dashboard like that. So click on login, and once you get to the login page, you put in your details and you log in into this. Yeah, this is what I was asking that time. Did I use capital S? Because database was using capital S. This one is not using capital S like that. So let me just click on remember me in case you want it to remember you later on when you come back to the screen like that. So once you log in, then we're going to be presented with the WordPress dashboard, which is what we call the backend. So this is where you're going to be updating anything you want to show to the user. So the backend of the site is this place, while the front end is whatever the user will be seeing there like that. So and how do you go to the front end? As you can see, just come to this. You're going to see this visit site, but it's always good that you open in another tab because if you click on it, it will just replace this backend, which is not what you want like that. And as you can see, it's going to present us with the default theme that the WordPress is using, because the WordPress art is based on themes, because themes is what determine how your site is going to showcase the information to the user there. So going back to the dashboard, you see that there's a lot of information here like that. So you can dismiss any of this information here. You can actually hide them if you want under this screen option. So any one of them you don't want to see, you just untick it here, like clicking on this screen option by this side. So this is screen option at the top. So once you click on it, it will bring it. No, that's not the screen option. So that's it. So any of the information you don't want to see, just uncheck it. No, I've unchecked welcome. That's why it's not showing. But if I click on it again, as you can see, the welcome is now back. So if I don't want to see any WordPress news or any quick whatever stuff, any activities at glance and all those things, so you might actually remove them. But I'm going to leave all these other one like that. So, and as you can see from the front end part of the site, this is what we just have, which is just a boring. So you just go to your this thing there, just over on this thing, it will bring out the option. Then you right click on that view site. No, not that one. View site, the visit site rather. Nah, it will. I told you it will replace once you click. So what you do is to right click on it and open in another tab so that it doesn't replace the stuff, because you'll be working here and you want to be seeing what is going on at that place, because the user will not see what is here. What the user are going to see is actually the front end of the site. And as you can see, after we click on this local Mayorverse, you see that it's not bringing WordPress installation again, because all those things is just a one-time stuff. Once it's done, anytime you go to that place, it will show the site. But you know, instead of you having this kind of address, when you are doing it online, it is going to be the domain that you purchase like that. But if you want to see, go back to that dashboard, what you just need to do is to add this WP admin like this. So which is WP just mean WordPress. Anywhere you see WP, is just a short form for WordPress. Then this is, you want to go back to the admin. So if you go back to that place like that, can you see that it is there? So WP/admin. So any site that is using WordPress, if you want to go to their dashboard, just add that /WP admin there. It will present that dashboard for you, but you know you have to log in, and that's why that login is there, because nobody, like, if it's just free, everybody can just see your backend and do whatever they want to do like that. For example, like this, I think this Ninja Cargo, or let me see this site, I think they are using WordPress. Yeah. So if you want to see their dashboard, what you just need to do, just add slash, like apart from their this thing, if they are using this thing, so all this thing can be added. They are just plugin that you can add to your this thing like that. So what we want to do is those slash WP admin. If they are using WordPress, you see that it will show the WordPress dashboard for us. But if they are not using the stuff, then it will not. But this is not the one I want. No, this is not the site. The one I want is Ninja. Yeah, Cargo Ninja. I think this is it. Is this the one? That one is green. Yeah, I think this is it. So let me see WP if they've not disabled it. But I think you can actually disable the stuff. But when you disable, how do you log into your backend? So can you see now? So they are using WordPress. So it will now bring you the same to your site. So once you deploy it and you want to see the backend, just add that WP slash admin. But you to check whether you've logged in before or not. If not log in, it will take you to the login page. So you need to log in. Once you know their admin login details, once you log in, you see everything like this there, like that, just like the way we have our own that is here, that is showing the dashboard. And the major thing, or where you are going to be interacting most on this your site, is on these pages, on this appearance, and this post, depending on what you want to do. So under this post, this is where you are going to create all your blog posts. So when you want to add different pages, this is where you are going to create all the pages. So every media, like video, audio that you've uploaded on this site, you are going to see everything under this media, where you can add more file and you can manage whatever that is there before you get to when you want to do some upload later on. You're going to see this thing being presented to you. So this is where you're going to see all the stuff that you've already uploaded on the site, all the files that you have. Then you can manage them. Any one of them that you need to delete, the one that you need to update or just remove, so that it doesn't add more space on your server there. Like, because whatever you'll be purchasing, they will give you a disk space, and you can't go more than that, or you extend the stuff. You know that your file is really large, and that's the reason why if you go to this domain king like this, you see that they have different options for you for hosting, and they will tell you this big space that you have. So you have to check what you are trying to do, the type of the site you want to build. Is it going to have a lot of files? If you are doing like all these video hosting site, and you need a large space. But if you are just doing something like a portfolio to just this, you don't need large space. It's just small space that you need. So if you go under their hosting plan like that, so as you can see, they have the WordPress hosting like that, and if you click on it, they will take us to the page. As you can see, this is what we'll be paying per month like that. They give you this free.com domain for the first year, because you have to pay. And as you can see, the information about the stuff, so you have 10 gig space. So if whatever you want to do will go above this, you know that you're supposed to pick the plan that will fit into your site like that. But you can actually start from small, then later on they can help you to upgrade. And as you can see, this 9,000, it is 40 gig that you have there like that. But if you know that whatever you want to do is more than that, then you can just contact them, and they will do the same for you like that. But since we are running this thing locally, we don't need to care about all those things, because it's using your machine storage right now. So we just need to go back to the stuff again later on. When you are dealing with blogs and you are accepting comments on that blogs, you're going to see everything here. So this is where you can manage comments, whether you want to approve it or you want to delete it or you want to do anything you want with it. As you can see here, you have the power to perform any kind of, as you can see, on approve, mark as spam, and move to trash in case the person and as you can see, it's on this hello world, which is the default this thing that was created for us when we set up. As you can see, this is the default blog post that was set up for us. So if you click on it, it will take you to a page to see the full details about the blog like that. As you can see, there's a comment there, and you can edit, you can reply if you want to reply, because we are already logging as admin into the system. That's why it's showing this in, and again too, that's why it's showing all these items at the top like that. So if you remove or if you copy it and open this in the ignito mode where you don't have the login state, so if you paste it, you see that the way it will be displayed here is to be different. As you can see, all those men, this is what the user will see like that. So nothing concern them about all those items because we logged in. So that's why I'm showing you those item edit so that I can quickly edit that page without you going back to the dashboard like that. And as you can see, the only thing that is here is reply. There is nothing like edit again. And you too, you can leave comment. This is the default stuff that is inside this theme that we are using. But once we switch the theme, you see that the way things will look now will be different. And that's what you will be doing most of the time because the theme that this thing will be giving you will not be there according to what you want to do. And again, too, to edit some of this stuff, it's kind of hard to update it. But instead of you doing that, we can actually use some of this page builder. So page builder, they are a plugin that you can install on your WordPress that helps you to, manage all the content that you have on a page. So if you know, we noticed last time that we worked on this thing. So going to the pages, you can edit any of these pages. And by default, WordPress come with their own this thing there. It comes with their own simple this thing, with their own simple page editor. And the way you edit things here is not really giving you everything that you need. So once you click on edit, as you can see, it comes to this page where you can edit this sample, and these are the content that is inside it. And I told you last time, this thing is based on the concept of block. Like everything you want to display on the page, they are called block. So like you want to display heading, we have the heading block. You want to display image, we have the image block, and a lot of them like that. And anywhere you want to put the content, just click that place and it's going to bring this stuff. By default, it will give you the text block, which is something you can just type. And I can see that thing has disappeared because I'm using the text block right now. But if I delete this in like that, it will bring this in. Then once you click on it, can you see you can now add different block that you want, and you can click on browse all to bring. But this thing is not that good for what you'll be doing later when you're working like intermediate or advanced side. Using blocks that is presented to you by default is going to be really, really hard to just lay out things like that, because most of the time you have to write code yourself to make all this thing work. But instead of you doing that, you can actually use a more advanced editor that you can use to edit your page. And when you want to do that too, you need to install theme that work with that particular editor. That means that thing was created by that editor, because whatever it is going to be using is coming from that editor, and not that it's coming from this default stuff like that. So how do you now install the editor, and how do you install the theme that you want to do? Because we don't want to use this default one. So you can click back on this WordPress this thing. So leave, then it's going to take us back to the dashboard like this. So the next thing we can do here is to come under the appearance, and as you can see, once you hover on it, it will bring you to this side, which is this theme and editor. Again too, we have plugins. This is where you're going to install the editor that you're going to be using to edit the theme. But let's install the editor, the plugin first before we install theme. So yeah, this is where you can install extra functionality into your, or you can add extra functionality to your WordPress. Just like VS Code, it doesn't have everything out of the box. You can install that thing to enhance the functionality of VS Code. So here too, WordPress doesn't come with everything, but where its power comes from is from the plugin and themes, because you can add all this in externally to it, and it will now make your site to be functional the way you want it to be. Do you want to build a site for blog? You can install all the necessary plugin for blogging. Do you want to deal with cargo sites, or all these transport site where people can go there, transport their good, logistic and all those things? You can install plugin that manage all these things for the user like that. Again, so do you need plugin to edit your interface or to edit your site? You can install plugin for that. So, and as you can see, currently these are the plugin that we have, which we don't really need. So I'm going to click on this to select all of them like that, so we can deactivate first, because I don't need it. They're already been activated like that. So you just apply, because I'm applying to all of them at once. Then the next thing is to select them again and then delete, because I don't need them. So you click on this, and as you can see, once it's done, it will remove the plugin. We don't have any plugin installed right now. So what we need to do is to click on this add plugins like that. And once you click on this, it will take you to the page where you can search for any plugin that you want to install. And as you can see, it has the feature one, it has the popular one, the one that people are installing. You have recommended, and you have the favorite in case you just start some of them like that. For example, now you can click on this recommended. It will show all the one that you can install. But it's not just that this thing is recommended. It all depends on what you are trying to do like that. So under the recommended, as you can see, these are the recommended. But as you can see, this WordPress now is for managing forum, like all these sites where you can post question and people will come and give. So if you want to use WordPress to build that kind of stuff, this is a one of the extension that, or one of the plugin you can install to do all these things. You can see this is another the same. So secure your custom feed and a lot of them. If you know the name of the plugin you are looking for, just put it there under the search, and it's going to bring it for you there. But the one we want to install self is not even on the list right now. You can see it's not even on the list right now. So what we can just do is to search for Elementor. So this is the name of the plugin that you can use to edit your site by using the drag and drop functionality. So these are the add-on that we're going to be adding later on to give us some other thing, because as you can see, this is the Elementor that we need, but it's not totally free. But most of the things that is here are free, but it have a pro version like that. So if you install it, it will only give you all the little stuff, and that's where this other thing now comes. Can you see? You now have add-on. So add-on is what you can add to it to be able to work on some stuff that Elementor is not giving you for the pro version. So what we just need to do is to click on the Elementor or install like this. So all this one too, we're going to be installing some of them later on. For example, like that in this one, you can see it can help you to build header and footer like that. So this can help you to build header and footer, because the way the normal header and footer comes in is not that easy to work with like that. So this one can help you to build header and footer of your site using Elementor, because you cannot use Elementor to build the header and footer. What you can only use it is the content on that page, but the header and footer you can use it to build. But you can use this add-on to be able to build your header, the custom header that you want, not the boring one that come with the theme or whatever they. But sometimes too, if it come with if the header that come with that theme is okay by you, you don't even need to install those stuff. But if you want to do custom stuff, or you want to do some stuff from scratch yourself, then you need to add all these things to make it easier for us. So once you install it like that, it's going to take us to their site, which is going to be adding you, like asking you maybe to subscribe to the pro. Again, you can just sign in to the free one, because you need to have an account with them like that. So let's wait for it. Once it's done installing, it will take you to the so just click on activate. It's done too from your site, so you can just click on activate like that. And once you click on activate, it will take you to their site. So let's take you to that place, because you need to. Okay, is it done? Normally it's supposed to take you to their site. Why is my own system slowing down like this? So this is what I was expecting. So it's supposed to take you to their site. Why is it coming here? But this is it here. So you can just click on it, because normally it's supposed to take you to their site. But once you click on it, it's supposed to do welcome for you like that. So you can connect your account, but I want you to connect the free one like that. You just sign in with your Google account, and that's all. You don't need to do too much like that. As you can see, it's supposed to follow this process. This is the process you're supposed to follow like that. But I don't need to create an account. I already have an account with them, so just skip all these things that they are asking you. Skip, because it's just a way of them asking for money like that, and we don't have money to give them. We want to use it for free, so just sign up with your email like that, and shouldn't have any problem with it. So as you can see, it's loading the element. I mean, I've already logged in before, so that's why my own is not bringing. But your own, no, you have to sign up. You do click on create an account. That's it at the top. Create an account. Then you now click on continue with Google. So it's going to load the stuff for us. So this Elementor will be loaded out like that, which is this. This is where you are now going to be editing your page. But before you can start doing that, we need to install a theme that, and I don't know why this thing used to take time on my system like that. So, but I have to wait for it to load. And once it's done loading, it's going to present the UI. So this is what is going to show for us. So skip, I don't need this, all these their introduction like that. I don't need all these things. All this thing is just a way of them telling you to come and pay like that. So that's not the way it's supposed to come outside like that. But once it's done, are you done? Do you have you logged into the stuff? So just click on it like that. So the next thing we need to do is for us to, because I've already done this thing on my own system, so that's why I quickly go to all these steps like that. But what you can do is to for us to have a page that you can now edit with Elementor. But we want to work with a theme that was built with this plugin like that. So assuming you are here already, so you can just click on this thing and you exit to WordPress, because assuming you are here, so just click on it, then it will leave this side and go back to that WordPress, so that it show everything that we have here like that. As you can see now, we have edit with Elementor like that. But I don't want to start with this default theme like this, so I'm going to go back to the page, because that the page is bringing an and that's not what I want. So as you can see now, it has generated this default. This is what I was expecting. So if you go to your pages, I think you should have all these default one that is created for us, but your own did not have it like that. But you can actually create a page too by just going to the stuff. So let me see. We're supposed to come in. All right, let's just create a page here. You can actually create a page, any page you want to add here like that. So just create a page like this. So next, I don't know why they are asking this. So it's choose the pattern. We don't need this one. So what you just need to do first, create a page, name it, just name it your let's call it home page. So just let me delete all this one that is created for me too. I'm going to start from scratch like that. So bulk action, so move to trash, apply like that. I don't know why I created this thing for me here, because I know how to. So click on page. So you click on publish to save it, because you need to have the page saved first. So yeah, I'm going to call this one to home page like that. And the next thing is going to publish the stuff. But you see how it's displaying the name. You're going to see how it's going to show the name of the stuff. If you copy the URL and you go to the end, can you see what is now showing? It's showing page ID equals to 14, because every page you are creating, there's an ID attached to them. So my own now, this page that I'm working on, the ID of that page is 14. So if you scroll to the left and check your own, you see the ID for that one too. Just move to the edge of the stuff. Okay. Oh, well, that means your own setting is here. You can see your own now is displaying home page. But my own, why is this thing giving different whatever stuff? Well, normally this is where the setting, because that setting is very important. Look at the way your own is displaying. But my own now is not showing the name of the page. It's showing this. For example, now if I even do this one like your own too. So let me just press enter like this and click on save to update the stuff, so we can go to the page information like that. So going back to this place, you are going to have the page like that, and I can edit or view the page. Can you see that it's showing page ID as the name? So you can actually change that by going to the setting. Then we have this permanent links. So this is where you can control how the links is going to display. Your own has been set to this one, which is this post name, which is what you should always use. But my own, as you can see, is using plain. But make sure that it's always this post name. In case it's not there, maybe when you're installing another site, it's not that plain. You have to return it back to this post name, so that it will be showing the name of the page, not the ID of the page, because this one is more useful to SE, like the search engine, compared to this one at the top here like that. So once we click on this, then scroll down, you click on save. So if you go back to your own and check, you see that what is there is that post name. So just go back to dashboard. Under the setting, you're going to see these links, and as you can, oh, your own says is using, can you see what is in day and name, which is not what you want. What you actually need is this post like that. So save, because that one now it will be adding, when you go to the post, it will be adding day, time to the stuff, which is not what you want. Because if you look at the sample, can you see it's there 2025, whatever stuff. We don't want that. Just use the name of the, because anytime you create post, it always attach a name to it based on the title. It will create a name that you can use in the URL automatically. Not that you be the one that will do that. And it's going to do it like this. Or if you have your own custom structure, you can do it like this. But we don't need to do that. We just use this one. It's okay for us like that. Once you save, go back to the pages. So once you go back to the pages and you click on view, just over on the view, can you see that my own now is now showing that home page. It's not showing the page ID again like that. But if you go to your site like this and reload, you see that we are not seeing our home page. What we are seeing is the blog. It's not showing that home page that we actually created. And the reason it's not showing it is because the home page is not set as a default view when you go to your site. So by default, what is going to show is all the blogs. It's going to show the blog page by default. Like all your blogs, all the posts that you've created is going to show the page that is displayed there by default to the user. But that's not what we want. What we want is to show this our home page, because when you click on this home page, that's when it's now going to show the stuff for us. But this is not what we want. Anytime we go to our site direct, we want to see this home page. We don't need to type it in the URL. So in order for you to do that, we need to go back to the setting. So it's this setting too, like that. So once you over on the setting, once you over on the setting like that, you are going to see the reading like this. So you are going to just over on it like that. So you are going to see the reading. No, the reading. Just over on it, you see reading. That's it down there. It's showing after the writing, reading. So once you click on it, as you can see, what is showing as the home page is your latest post. That's not what we want. We want a static page. That means when we get to our home, like once we get to the site, we want to display a particular page. And what page do you want to display? So just click on what you want to display as a page. So we want to use our home page that was created. So anytime you go to that site now, this is what is going to show by default. And what do you want to use as your post page? If in case you have a separate post page, you can select it, but leave that one empty and just click on save change, because you need to save your changes. Anything you do, you have to save the changes. Then you go back to the site to preview it. Just go back to the other tab where you opened down already, then reload the page. And once you reload the page, you see that it will now be showing your home page by default now. So it's not until you go to that slash before it will show it. So it's the home page that is going to be showing by default. But right now, as you can see, the theme we have right now is not following what we want to do, which is to create a portfolio site. And again, too, I don't like this sample page. We don't need it. We only need, I think for now, we only need the home page. But later on, we can have other pages. So any pages you don't need, you can go back to your pages and just delete them. So anything you don't need there, because it's going to add them to the menu by default, but you can still remove them too if you don't want to add them like that. So what we can just do is, I don't need this privacy right now. I don't need this sample right now. So just tick them, then go under this bulk action and move to trash like that. So click on apply and it's going to move them to trash. Not that you've deleted them, no, it's still in your system like this. In case maybe like it's a mistake and you want to return them back, you can see at the top, you have publish, you have all. So if you only want to see all the published page, you can, because you can actually have drafts where you have only the changes that only you can see. People at the front end cannot see it, so you can switch between all of them. So any one of them that is published, you are going to see there. The trash, as you can see under the trash, I have 4 pages. They are there. So if I want to, get them back, I can call it. But once you delete from here, that's the end of everything like that. But I'm going to go back to this place. We really have home page like that. But before that, what we want to do right now is to go to this our appearance, then themes, because we want to install a theme that follows what we want to do. And as you can see, these are the default one that comes with what you have. So what you just need to do, just like the plugin, so you click on add theme. So it will take us to marketplace where you can see different themes. So we want to look for a theme that is meant for Elementor. As you can see, this is one of them here, this Hello Elementor. So this one now, this theme was built using Elementor. So which means whatever element you have on that page, they are coming from Elementor. You can quickly edit them and do whatever you want to do, or you can just go there, just start for Elementor like this. So it's going to bring all the theme that has Elementor in the name, like that. You can see cafeteria Elementor. It has this computer repair element. Any team that have Elementor in its name, you are going to. So which means all these teams, they are built with Elementor, like that. So what we just need is the portfolio one. So you just need to keep scrolling. As you can see, this is one of them, like that. Security services. This one is a portfolio for this kind of a business. So where you have the picture, then what are the services that you render? Because that's what we want to do. But I don't like it like that. Even at the top, you can actually filter them by the type of what you want. As you can see, there are different types, so you don't need to start checking all of them. So the one we actually need is for portfolio. So you just click on it like that. So and we can just search for this thing again. So scroll down. Let me just search for Elementor again like this. So press enter like that. Do I still have this thing tick? Yeah, so it's still tick. And as you can see, these are different stuff that is bringing out like that. But I don't like all this one. It's not looking like what I want. So let's just keep looking, looking until we see the one. Or instead of view, just type in Elementor. You can put portfolio 2 in the search so that it will streamline our search there like that. So as you can see, there are different portfolio that is it. This is another portfolio too. So you can see, hey, I am whatever stuff. These are my projects, what I've worked on, this is what I do, and so forth like that. So you can just search for, and once you are okay with any one of them, then you click on install like that. This is hello, but I want us to install something that it will just be easier for us to work with. But later on, we are going to be working from scratch to build our own paper. First, we want to see how we can use the existing theme to work like that. So let me just go up and just type portfolio in general. But we are going to look for the one that was created for this thing. So portfolio like this, portfolio. So as you can see, this is one like that, which shows your name, all this kind of stuff. Then what you just need to do is to update the details based on your name. This is another one. This is another type. So this is another type. So it just depending on the one you want to pick like that. You can even preview them in case you need to check what is there first before you install the theme. So let me see which one can we pick. Let's see. All of them are really good. All of them are really good. All of them are really good. But I think let me go up. Let me just scroll up back. Let's pick this one. It's just a simple stuff. Which wait, let me see. Do we need to input some data? I don't like. Let's see. It have this one have a lot of pages. So it have it's not even showing the home page right now. It's showing the blog page because these are the blogs. So let's preview it. So to see what is here, you can just click on preview. So once you click on preview, it's going to show you how it's going to look like that. You can see this is what it's going to look like. So by HTML, so by whatever stuff. So it have a about page, it have parent page, like that. You can even go to other pages, but it have different. Wait, oh no, this is another thing. This is not what I want. Like that about the site. It's not looking. Let me collapse the sidebar. Ah, it's not that looking the way I want it to be. So I don't really like it. So I don't like it. I don't like it. So let's go back. Close it. Like that. So let's see this one. Preview. So as you can see this one, it makes sense a little bit. So you just need the picture here. So scroll down. This I have about page. So down here, It have this one did not have that much. Oh, I don't like it. It don't have a lot. Let me check the about page. Does it have anything under the about page? So under the about shit, nothing much there like that. I think this was the one I installed last time. Just like this one requires extra work. So I've used that one before. Let me check this person's email. This sample. All right, so look at this one. So let me collapse the sidebar. Uh, um, some of them say you have to actually, I don't know, maybe because some of this same, you need to go to their documentation to look at how to import some of these pages. Because you know the sample now, they not even look like, we can see all these things that are here, they are not here. So the way they do some of those things, you have to import them like that. And it gives actually support dark and lighting. So this one support dark and light theme like that. So let me click on this, which is still this add-on. So let's just use that one that I've used before, because let me see this one. Let me see. I think this one looks a little bit like what. So as you can see here, the achievements, 26 years experience. Then later on you can add all your other, I think this one we can actually use it. So we'll be able to add, I think this is what I was looking for. So the project. So when you click on project, it's supposed to show us the projects. Then what are your services? For all these things, they don't need to be a separate page. It can be on this page as a section. There like that. So as you can see, they have quick link about and so let's install this one. So what we need to do now is just to click on install. So click on install like that. And once it's done installing, we need to activate it, because just because it's installed doesn't mean it will just activate it like that. No, you have to activate. Yeah, so it has been installed. So the next thing is for us to activate the theme. So once I click on activate, it will remove that the default one that is there and replace it with this one. So that what this one, instead of being installing this theme, you can actually do everything from scratch yourself using Elementor. But again, too, that's another problem. We need to check, is this thing created by Elementor? Because if it's not created by Elementor, we cannot use it. So let me check. Let me open it. Let me see, because we need to look for the one that is created by Elementor, because there is not only Elementor that you can use to edit. This is, they have different plugin that you can use to edit your site. This is not what I want. This is not where I want it to take me to, like that. So let me go to the home page first. It should change everything now to what is, as you can see now, everything has been updated. Can you see the type? It's not that it will be using the data, it to show our stuff, but we just need to update some of the items that we don't need to start working on all these things from scratch. We just need to update. But where is this page is located there? So let's go back to the dashboard like that, and let us go back to the pages like this. So I have my home page, and that is what I don't like about this thing, because that page I don't think is, it's not made by this thing. Let me click on it, because as you can see now, it's showing a separate stuff. That one too is showing its own separate thing. So we need to find the one that is meant for Elementor. So once we see the one that is meant for Elementor, then the other one, I think we go back to that, this one here. This one was built by Element. You can, this one I have a theme for Elementor. So as you can see, you must call the content function in the lesson. So it will not work because the theme we are using is not working with it. So it's not working with Elementor. You cannot use Elementor to edit the stuff. So what we need to do now is to go back and find the one that work with Elementor. So go back to your appearance. You can see some stuff are now coming out. That theme that we install, as you can see, it comes with its own setting, which means it's not using Elementor. As you can see, it's not using Elementor. We have to go to the documentation and do whatever stuff. But we don't need to be doing all this. So go back to the theme. I will uninstall it. So if you don't need it again, just activate this one back. Just activate any one of the one that is there before, like that. So once it's activated, yeah, as you can see, this one is now back. So this one I don't need it again, so click on it. So delete, because you don't want to leave anything that you are not using, like that. It will just be adding unnecessary space. So again too, I'm not using all that. I'm not going to be using. These are the default one that come with WordPress, and you don't need them. So again, to click on this one, then delete, like that. I will leave that last one, then go back into my this add theme, like that. Then look for portfolio, because I don't want to do too much of work. You should always install the one that matches the so yeah, so this one now we just need to install. So as you can see, set off v version. So and now all the theme settings. So you need, because there's something we need to import, like that. So activate, so that you can set up all the data. Because if you go back to your main site after you activate it, go back to the main site first, the main site, then reload. This is why I don't like this one. It's too heavy. There's a thing, like a lot of things it needs to set up first before it starts working. It's really heavy. That's why I don't want to install it. Because again, so as you can see, you need to set up the stuff again to like that. So that things you need to set up here before it start working. But let me go to, if you click on team settings, it's going to take us to the setting. And again, we need to import all the pages that we need, like that, so that it can look like what they have there. Because as you can see, the sample that is showing, that sample is showing there now, is not what is going to show on our page. So in order for you to show what is showing there, like that, we need to do this. And as you can see, this is not the way we want to be editing our stuff. We want to edit it from this thing there. So this is not where I want it to come in. You can see now that no data is showing again. So because the data is not there by default. So what I want to do is just close it. So once you close it, you click on this setup free. Just open the stuff in a new tab so that it doesn't replace this tab. So just right click on that. Okay, you've opened in another tab. So like that. So there's some things we need to do in order for it to work, or there's something you need to download, as you can see. So first, we need to go to appearance theme and click on add new, like that. Then search for the others, whatever stuff, which is what we've done already. That's the first step we've done already. Or if you have it locally, you can just import and install. But what we need is to install these required plugins, because before you can start functioning, you require plugin. And one of the plugin there is that Elementor that we've already installed. So if you go back to the site, just go back to the other tab where you have the site, and you go to your dashboard, just click on dashboard. It will advise you to install some of these things. So there's going to be a pop-up that you can see under it. There is the team recommend the following plugin. So what we just need to do is to just click on this begin plugin so that it will install all of them for us, so that we start clicking on them one by one. So just beginning installation. So it will, as you can see, it will take us to the page. So we already have the other one installed. That's why it's not showing here. Assuming you don't have Elementor installed here, it will be showing. So we need this contact. If you look at that page, see people can contact the developer. So this is the one that is going to be managing that. So this Kiki customizer, this is the one to be able to install some stuff out of the fly to input some data. So menu icons, if you look at that page, you see that there's some icons that is here. So they are not image, they are icons that is coming from this library. So this one click demo, this is one that we are going to use to import all the data that they've already created. Our own is not to update that data, not that we start creating everything from scratch. And like, as you can see again to X add-on. So these are some plugin is using on Elementor that are not free, but it's coming from this X add-on. So what we just need to do is to select all of them. Then under the bulk action, just click on install and you click on the apply, like that. And once you click on the apply, it will start the installation process. So it will start the installation process, like that. So this is what once we're done with the installation and everything, that's where we'll stop. But tomorrow now we now start updating the content that we need to add into the stuff. Blah, blah, blah. Let's watch for it. So it will start installing all of them. And once it's done, then we just need to go and activate, because installing is different from at. So all these things, once you install, you need to activate, because you can actually have some of this extension that you don't want, or this plugin you don't want to use at a particular time. So you still have it installed, but that doesn't mean it's working yet. So 5. Normally, the time I was doing this thing for another class, I think it was 7 that it was showing for me. Let me see your own side. Yeah, yeah. Okay, it's 5 too from your side. Oh, because you've installed. In that time it was showing. Is it 7, or it was showing for me that time when I was doing it for another class? All right, 5 out of 5. So once it's done, you should have a new message. Yeah. So all installation complete. So return to the required plugin installer. So as you can see here, the next thing is for us to activate them. So just click on everything again like that. So activate as the action, then apply the stuff. So it's going to activate them. Yeah, so now we don't have any plugin that we need to activate or install. So now the next thing we need to do, going back to that doc again, the doc that we are using. So we've done the first one. So you will be redirected to a page with all the name plugin and whatever stuff, which is something we've done already. So after we are done with that, we need to download this file. Me, I already have it on my system because I've used it for one class, but you need to click on this thing to download it. So this is the file that contain the files that you're going to import. No, the data. The thing is already there, but the actual data, as you can see that this page, it have the photo, it have all these text. So this one is the one that have all those information like that. So what you need to do now is to extract it out. So just go to your download folder. So extract, because you need to import all this. So you need to extract them to your folder like that. So by going back into this stuff, this thing should have the stuff here now. Let me refresh, because there's going to be some menu here for us to import. You are going to see the import here. Yeah, so this thing is telling me I cannot. So just remove all these things and go back to WP admin. So once you're done extracting them. So if you go back to this, I think it should be here under this appearance. Yeah, so as you can see now, there is not this option for importing demo data. So you should have the option for importing demo data. So just click on that, import demo data. So you click on import demo data. No, it's under the appearance. Once you have to reload the page. I will reload the page. Yeah, that's it. Once you reload the page, it will come outside. Because you just install the extension or the thing. So now we need to scroll down to the section to import the stuff. So you need to import. They did not give us this one, or they did not give us one of them. So they only give parts like that. No, scroll down to this section where you're going to see manual demo import. Scroll down, keep scrolling down. It's down. That's it down here. So if you go back to the doc, you are going to see what you need to import. So for this one, we need to import, as you can see here. Let me even go down like that. So for the first one, as you can see, we need to upload the XML content. So for the content, we need to upload the XML file, and for the customizer, we need to import this. And again, to it, have other one, import widget, but they did not give us that one free. It's when you upgrade to Pro that is going to be giving you the widget. So what we need to import here is that under the content, just select file. So it will take you to, so you just need to go to where you extract that stuff to. But you can see my own open it directly because I've done it for another class before. I've done it for one class before. So go to your download and go to where you extract the stuff to, the folder. No, you can't be the zip file. You have to extract. What's the name of the file? That's it now. This is it. That's the, yes, open it. Open it, not the folder. Yeah, that's the file. So you need to, the content, import content. That's the one you're going to import first. So just open it. Then for the next one, you're going to select the import customizer. So the customizer is that file. The dat, no, not content. Oh, you can see that the name is matching the stuff. So once you are done, then you click on continue and import, because they did not give us the file for the other one. So just click on import. So this one now, it will start importing the necessary data for this page. So once it's done, you see that your page will now look like this. So once it's done, it will look like what we have here. So what is now need to do now is just to update the content. But later on, when you want to do your own, you don't actually need to do something like this. You can actually build your own page separately, and you create the stuff from Elementor like that. But let's wait for it. So it's going to import all the pages. You know, if you go to, like by default, if you go to the pages, you see that it's just that our own page that is there. But once this thing is done, it will import all the pages that we need. Because I think this thing actually have like services and all those things like that. So let's wait for it, because again, when it's done importing, it might take time to load too, depending on how fast is this thing. So once it's done, then you see the UI coming out. So it's now left for us to update the text to our own text, your name, your description, and what you are doing, and so forth like that. So that's just what you will just do. But later on, we're going to search for a design that will now use Elementor to do it from scratch. Not that we import, but sometimes you still need to, start with a theme. Then that theme you just develop on it. But if you need to do custom stuff, then you'll be spending time with the Elementor the design page. So if I click on this, open it in another tab like that, while that one is ongoing, and I think the network is okay. So as you can see, this is our home page now. It will come outside, but let me create another page like this. So let me call it let's just call it because it's doing that import, that's why it's taking time to load like this. So let's just call it my contacts like this, so that it doesn't look like any other pages that I have before. Or let me just give a gap as the name. So publish. So once it's done with the publishing, what we can just do, you can view the page if you want to view it to see how it's going to look like. For example, here, let's open in a new tab, and we should see the stuff. If it's done, as you can see, it's using this dummy whatever stuff, but we don't want it to be like that. So what we can just do is to click with edit with Elementor. So you now take us to that Elementor page, and from there you can start. Okay, your import is done, so what you can do is to visit the site. So you can just click on visit site, and now it should display that it's still importing. So it's still doing the import. Once it's done with the import, everything here will show this thing. So as you can see, so this is our Elementor editor page. So it has this widget, which is what you know as a block with the normal distance. So here it is known as widget like that. And it comes with different widgets like this container, which is the one I'm explaining, like flex. So you can use this one to do that. So it comes with grid too. So all those things that you normally do is they are here, but not that you'll be creating the code, you just click. But when you need to customize them, there's actually a section for you to edit them in CSS, like to enhance it. But it's a pro feature, but there's a way of going behind it to do that later on. Again, if you want to add your H1 to H6, this is what you use. If you want to add your paragraph, this is what you use. And this one is even advanced because you can bold the text, you can do anything, you can even insert image there. But there's a image widget already. There is video widget, which is YouTube with video like that. Again, there is button widget, there is divider widget, there is spacer widget, there is Google Map widget like that. There is icon widget that you can use to add icon. But these are the pro features that we don't even need. So under the general, you have the tab. In case you are creating tab, it has the accordion widget, which is like you have a section where you want to collapse each one of the data under the section. So that's what we call the accordion. I think I have it here. So accordion sample. So you can just even go online. So accordion sample like this, so that you see. So like that. So go to the image. You see, it's just like different section where you can collapse them, as you can see. So this one now, you can collapse it and you can open the other one. This is what we call accordion like that. So it comes with different design. So you can use it to create something like, just like what normally use it for on the site is you have some question, like some frequently asked question. So what if I don't have money? Can I do this thing? Then you put all the answer on that one. what if I have so stuff? Can I now go into this place? You leave, so they can now open any one of them they want. Not that you the thing will not take a lot of space there, like that. So that's what we call the this in there. So where's my this in? Yeah, so that's the accordion, icon box, image box. This one now image and text. That one at the top is just normal image, but this one give you image at the top, then text, and then that text have title and the paragraph under it. So if you need to use any one of these stuff, just click and drag to where you need it like that. But you don't just drag and drop like that. You know, things on a page, they are always in a group. So the way we normally do that, we put in div and group them. So the same thing here. To what you do is to have a container. Then inside the container, that's where you now put the actual content that you want to show, like that. For example, here now on this our page, we want to have content side by side. I want to have the title by this side, and I want the other. So here you can click on this add to add any container you want. As you can see, we have the flex box and we have the grid. So what I need is the flex box. And what are the flex do you have? Is it that, can you see everything I've talked about? Is it the column you want, or is it the row, or is it this one that is going to be side by side, or this kind of a layout where you have like flex of 1 and 3? You know, this one is like 1, and this is taking 3 times of what, or you need something like this, or you need all this kind of a layout. But most of the time, what you just need is this row, and as you can see, it has been added there like that. There is now left for you to start adding things inside, and everything you're adding, you are going to see them by this side, like that. So as you can see, the container that was added, and again, too, it's always good that you name them according to what you are doing. For example, I can just name this one as my hero container, or like that. So let me add the container, yes. So hero container. So inside this container, we want to add something. This one is not to add inside. The container we just created is this. So if you want to add another container under this one, that's where you use this one. Or if you want to even use templates, because maybe you want to do like pricing now, like the pricing table, you don't need to create it from scratch yourself. You can just click on this template, or you can even use this one to build with AI. But if you click on template, you're going to see different templates of blocks that you want to use, like that. For example, here now, you can just search for pricing template. As you can see, it will bring different template for us for pricing, but some of them or most of them are even pro. But later on, we can now install add-on that I talked about to add more functionality so that we don't be dealing with this. Or if you want, if it is page 2 that you want to work on directly, you don't need to work on everything from scratch. You can actually take some template. In case you need something like this, you just click on it, it will import it. You now modify the content that is there like that. But you can see they are pro. Almost all of them are pro like that. But once you install add-on that you want, you are going to see all the other free one here like that. But for now, we don't need it. So we can just click on this one. You can see again all the settings for that container are here, like where we have the container layout, which is flexbox, or if you want to use grid. Again, so what I want is the width. Width box means that the width is not full, like that. So I can actually hide this stuff. So if you hide, I did not have anything inside it, so it will not show. So let me just go to the style. This is where you can apply the style on the stuff. Under the advanced, this is where you can add your, as you can see, the margin. By now you know what is margin, what is padding, so you can add them. Can you see all those align, everything I've talked about? Yeah, you see that it's kind of easier for you that already know how to code, because you already know what all these things are doing. You only just to click them and like that, and you are good to go. And the only thing I've not talked about is the positioning, like that, which is what we're going to be talking about too later on there, like that, where you can do the absolute and fixed or the static, which allows you to move things around in a more concerns way like that. Again, too, the z-index, if you want to give it a class, you can give it class. If you want to give it ID, you can give it ID. So that later on when you are doing some CSS, as you can see, you can add custom CSS, but since they are pro, it is pro. But we can actually add a widget that will allow us to insert code for this page. So instead of using this, we just insert a widget that is meant for code. They will now put all our code here to do all the custom stuff in case you need to do that. But most of the time, most of the stuff you want to do, they are here already. As you can see, it supports responsiveness. Maybe you only want this thing to have to show on mobile or to show on desktop, or you want to even do something like the layout should change based on whether you're on desktop or mobile. All of them are here. Right now we are working on desktop and all, but you can switch to any of the, as you can see, we have this tablet here and we have this mobile here, which is, you see that is using that same standard breakpoint that we talked about. But if this thing is not up to what you want, you can actually go to setting, and under this setting you can actually add more things into, or set up the general stuff like that. So under the setting, can see you have the general setting like that, and we can set the title of the stuff. We can set the feature image just like the way it is from the stuff. We can hide the title if you don't want to see it at all, or we can set the page layout. Do we want it to be canvas only? Only the whatever we have on the Elementor, that's the only thing it will show. Or we want this to be Elementor full width or whatever the same like. So you can do all the setting. Another setting is here too, like that. Where is it itself? So there's another setting here. Yeah. So the site setting, this is where you can set the custom, like the themes of the page and a lot of other thing like that. So global colors, like maybe your system, like all our design that we're going to see that they've already given us all the colors that we need to use. So this is where you can set up all your colors. What is your primary color? What is your secondary color, and so forth like that. You set it so that when you're dealing with Elementor, you don't need to start typing all those code every time. Once you just click on the panel for changing color, it will just bring out all these things automatically. So it's easier to manage than you typing the stuff yourself like that. Let me just again too. You can set up your typographical like that. How your button will look like by default, the images, the form feed, how things will look like, the background of all your sites. Again, the custom CSS in cases, but this one I think is pro. But this is not the way we are going to be doing it like that. So we're going to be using another method. Site identity, this is where you put all information about your site, like the logo, the site's name, and everything there. Here already the description, which is, you know, the title we normally type in the head. So this is it here now, like that, which you can use AI to hide, but all this thing they'll be asking for money now once you start using it. So, but most of the time we are not going to come here for this one because everything will have been set up already since we import the data. Reload the page again. Let's see whether it's done. Because on used to, I don't know why that thing used to take time to load the stuff. It's still not showing up. So there are two homes now. Let me see. There are two homes now. So this is home. This is, yeah, that's why it's not. So this is your own. Let me see. Because I think it's creating its own home page. So let's wait for it. I think it's going to take time to load, to import all the data. So you have to wait for it. Like that. So this is where you now be adding all the necessary grid that you want to add to the page. Like that. So we can bring your structure back in case you need the stuff, which is going to show this our structure that we have by this side like that. When you are done, you can close everything here and it will go back to our normal page where we can start adding what we need to add. And what did I say we want to add here? We want to add two things inside the stuff. So I want to add one container here like that. As you can see, the container, you see that the thing will be aligned inside. So as you can see, the icon here is aligned under this one. Just like your VS Code that it arrange all its folder. So that's the same way it's going to arrange all these things. If you want to add another thing, just click on it there and just drag the stuff like this, and it's going to. But now as you can see, it has added this stuff here, but that's not what I want. I want the two of them to be side by side. As you can see now, it is side by side. But why is it side by side? So why is it side by side? You can see this is one container, this is another container, but the two of them, they are inside another container. Just like the way you have, this is the outer div. Then inside that div, we have one div on this side, we have another div by this side. But inside this div, we put the content that needs to be here. Inside this place too, we put another content. So what I want to put here is just image. So what I just want to put here is just the image like that. And as you can see, it will bring out the setting. Any widget you pick, the setting for that widget, it's going to, that one is still loading because you have to wait for it. So the setting is going to come outside. So from there, it's just left for you to pick the image that you want. And as you can see right now, we don't have any image in our library. Yeah, this is another error. I'm going to solve this one once that error come aside, because we need to increase the time that it takes PHP to execute the stuff. Currently it's set to 120, but we need to increase it to a large number because that thing is taking time to process. So let me go to the download. I'm going to show you how to activate it here. So let me just pick this hero image like that. So let me select it. It will upload the image. And one of the advantage of this thing is that once you upload the stuff, it's going to be in your library that I show you that time. So you can reuse it anywhere you need it. So we just need to import. And as you can see, it's going to be there like that. But what if I don't want it to be by this side? Because this thing now, it looks like it's supposed to be background image. So instead of us doing that, what we can just do here is to delete this container like that. So delete this container too because I don't need it. But I want this thing here to be background to display. So how can we do it? So you just need to go to the setting of that container. So once you click on the setting, as you can see, or once you click on it, it brings out this setting where you have the style, you have the layout, and you have the advanced section. So this is where you can set your padding in case you need. This thing is linked together. It means if you change one, it will change all of them. For example, and again, as you can see, you can use pixels, you can use RAM, and but I love RAM, so I'm going to change it to RAM, and I'm going to use 3 RAM like that. As you can see, the padding has been added around everything. But what I want to do here too is to add my that background image. So how do you have background image? As you can see, you can come here to add background like that. But there are two types of background here. So we have background and we have the background overlay. So when you're talking about the background, this one, as you can see, you can use the classic. If you just want to upload your normal image, you can use gradient in case you want to do that. So color 1, then color 2. That means you are mixing that linear gradient that we talked about. So here we can just yeah, I'm not applying global color right now. So now I'm picking this color. So for this, so the location, you can adjust the location of the stuff like that. And as you can see, we have type of this thing. So yes, I've done that. Why is it not picking my this? Are you whining me before? So as you can see now, the gradient is here, but we know we are using the linear type. So if you want that radial, which is that circular one, you can use it. And this thing is visual, so you see what is going on, and then you keep adjusting until you see the one you got. I don't like this radial, so I'll go to linear back like that, which is going to move them. So this thing is taking a lot. So this one should just go back to like this. No. Should just give me like this, and I think this one should go up a little bit. And again, you can change the angle. So as you can see now, it is 180, you know, that we used to do to left to right. So this is it here. So you can use the angle to change that, the degree. You can see you can use radian or you can use ton, but I think the degree is more the same like that. So and now once you are done with that, you can just go back with the other settings that you want. And when you want to do something when it is over, just click on this. So these are the settings when that box is over. You want to do something like changing background or whatever stuff. But I'm not changing anything. What I want to do is to just add something in there. For example, like this heading, which is going to be just this one, nothing. Just add it and edit what you need to edit there. So it's going to be my heading like this, and as you can see, if it's a link, just paste the link. It's going to turn into a link. And what is the type of the heading you want? I want H1 like that. And at the same time, you can actually do other setting by going to the style. So once you come under the style, you can align the stuff, so maybe to this side or to this side and so forth, or to the center. But why is it not going is because as you can see that this thing did not full. So assuming it's full now, it will do what but because there is no space already. So and if I move it back now here, so it will be doing what I want it to do like that. Again, if you want to do some advanced stuff like the padding, the margin, the width of it, which is what I did that time, so you can adjust the width to where you want it to be. You assuming it's you know, beside other flex item, do you want to align it to somewhere? So and again to the order, then the size of the stuff like that. And under this style, this is where we can the typographic, this is where you can change the style of the text. So once you click on this pencil, you change the font family, the size of the text, so which is the font size. So this is where you change the font size. What is the font width that you want to use? So I'm using 700 like that. Do you want to transform the top? All those things that we normally do, everything here. You just need to pick what you want, and it's going to generate the necessary stresses. Do you want to underline it? This is where you're going to see that text decoration we normally use. So what's the letter spacing, what's the word spacing, and so forth. You're going to see them under this typographical like that. So if you want to stroke the stuff, if you want to apply shadow, or if you want to blend it, you can blend the stuff. So what do you want to happen when you hover on the stuff? So you just switch to the hover, and you do whatever you want to do when the hover state is activated. But if it's not giving you what you want, you can actually create your own custom this thing there like that by applying your own CSS like that. I think there is a code here, as you can see, this HTML. So we just need to insert it somewhere here, or we need to create a container first. So let me create a container. So it's going to be Flexbox. It's just one item that is going to be there. And inside this container, we're going to add something there, which is going to be this HTML. So inside this HTML now, that's where we'll be pasting all our custom code, and any element that have the class that we're using here is going to affect it on a page. For example, here, I want to create a class. The class is going to be big like this. So what did I want to do with that? It did not give us, nice stuff. So you can edit it. What we'll be doing here, copy and paste, because the thing is not giving us what we are. No, we're not doing the correct stuff. So we need to start with style like that. As you can see that, because whatever you're doing, just like you are doing your normal HTML like that. So if it's JavaScript too, which I have not talked about, so JavaScript is going to be inside scripts. Whatever you put inside this script is all about JavaScript. Whatever you put inside the style, we've talked about this one. It's all about this. So what I want to do is going to be big like that. And what I want to do, so the font size like this is going to be 100. This is too much. 100 pixels like this. But now nothing will happen on the page because it will only happen to any element that have this class big. So what we can just do is to select that element. So once we select it, it will bring out the property of that element. We go to the advanced, and under the advanced, we scroll down. As you can see, you can give it class and you can give it ID. So we just need to give it that big like that. And once it's load, we're supposed to see the stuff on the page. Wait, did I save my this thing? Okay, let me stop here from the video part. But before I stop, let me go back and let's solve this problem. So the problem with that one is that the time it takes for this thing to run, it have a timeout there. Like your script must run for a number of seconds before it will just time, or milliseconds rather, or it can be seconds too like that. As you can see, the execution time is 120. Whatever the PHP stuff want to do, it must not pass this 120 seconds. Whatever it's doing, once you pass that, once the thing see that it will think maybe the thing is not responsive, then the next thing it will cut it out. So what you need to do now is to update the time is using to check this thing. My own I've already updated to I think around that 600. So what you need to do too is to update it, and to update the stuff, you are going to be doing it from the control panel. Not this. You are done with this one. This one is just when you want to set up your you want to set on that. That's why you come here and create database. And once you've done that, this one you're not doing anything. You are closing the entire browser like that. So what you're doing is just to do the first time. So the WordPress that will be interacting with it. You are not the one. The one is just to connect them together. Like that. So what you need to do is to come back to this control panel. Then you are going to see this configure for that Apache. So it's going to open. It's supposed to open the this thing now. So as you can see, you are going to open the PHP on. So that init stuff. So inside that file, what is the name? As you can see, there is a lot of configuration. This is where the configuration is that is following. So whatever configuration you have here, that's what is going to follow. And I think this is the same name. Can you go back to that page where you have the error? So when you have that error, that same error name is what we are going to search for. And we update it. I think my own, I've already updated to 600. This is 600 or 6,000 did I update it to? Let me see the name. Maximum execution time. Yeah. So let me check it. Let me check the name you need to look for. Because the name is, so there's a lot of configuration here that you can do. But for that one, where is it? What's the name? somewhere here, as you can see now, it is upload max file size. You cannot upload more than 40 MB. It will not go. You upload anything more than that. So if you want to upload more than that, you have to come here and update. And again, to max file upload, you can't upload more than 20 files at the same time. So all these settings, default socket timeout. So it is not sockets. Let me just look for timeouts. So timeouts. Yeah, I think I saw it now. Uh, this is in my SQL setting. Where are you? Okay, I'm looking for it. Let me click. What in the name? So and again, so you need to know how to work with, like how to, because there's a error you might actually see there. So what you just need to do, that same error that you just search for it. So as you can you see? So this is the file I'm looking for. So max, so that's the name of the stuff. Max underscore. So search for it. Yeah, so this is it. I know that I set it to 600. As you can see, this is what you are looking for. So go to that file. Go to the file, which is something that's open already. Then look for this. Just copy it like that. Copy that name. Copy that name. Yes. Just double click on it. It will copy everything for you. Yeah. So copy it. If you not copy, just Control C and this one is waste of time. Then Control C the stuff. Then go to the file. Then Control no the file. The file is open already. Then Control F to look for the stuff. Then paste the stuff. Control V. You will be using your keyboard a lot. Then click on the search icon. The search icon. Yeah. So yeah, as you can see 120. So update it into maybe like 600. I'm using 600 here. I think it was one that, and that 600 service even take time. Let me change it to 1600. So that is going to be 1 minute something. No, tell me that's not 1 minute. It's going to be so 1600. So this is the number of seconds it's going to take before it stops. So save it. You have to save that file. So save the file. So what you need to do is close it. Once you don't close the Explorer, then you stop your server, that Apache, stop it, Apache, then you run it again so that it will load the setting. So now go back to that place and reload. Just go back to your page. So it should, let me reload. Yeah, so now I have the home page. So let me to click on it. Where is it? It should be this home, because it's changed it to home. We need to go and we need to update that stuff late tomorrow. Our static page to match, because now no, this is our home page, so we need to use the one that we import. But first, wait for it to load. Wait, oh, okay, it's still loading. So once it's done loading, it's just the first time that it's going to do this. Once it's done loading that data, after that first time, it will not be slowing down like this. So let me stop recording.